Mohammed Shah Shabani, also known as Shahar Khan, 27, from Hounslow, West London, was reported missing on the 7th of May 2019 after he failed to return home. He left his home at around 12:30 p.m. but never returned. Police believe he has been kidnapped and probably murdered. Shahar was in debt before he went missing. He had lost his courier job and was believed to have got himself into dealing cannabis to try and ease his debts, but police say he may have got out of his depth. It is known that on the day he went missing he visited Acton Police Station between 1:47 p.m. and 2:31 p.m. for a prior appointment. He collected £4,800 from a separate matter that was not proceeded with. It is then thought he went out to go meet someone else who owed him £5,000 at an industrial estate on Derby Road, Hounslow, so police believe he was carrying a lot of money on him when he went missing. Shahar had 2 mobile phones, which could mean he used one for his cannabis dealings and the other for family matters. On the day he disappeared, one of his phones connected to a mobile tower nearby at 15:55 and 21:04, and the later call was still within the Hounslow area. One of his phones has been found by police. Sniffer dogs and police helicopters were used in an extensive search of the area where they found Shahar's phone. A month has passed since Shahar was last seen. When the police increased concerns for his welfare, the Met called for them to bring in detectives from the Homicide and Major Crime Command in London. Shahar's Audi Q3 was missing but later seen on CCTV and then recovered a month later after he went missing, with altered plates. Ballistic evidence was found inside the car indicating someone had been using a gun inside the car. 3 months have passed and the Scotland Yard detectives had formally declared the case a murder investigation. A 23-year-old man was arrested on the 2nd of July 2019 on suspicion of perverting the course of justice and has been released under investigation. 2 men were also arrested on the 8th of July 2019 on suspicion of murder, kidnap and perverting the course of justice. Both have since been released pending further inquiries. A 20-year-old man was arrested on the 31st of July 2019 on suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder, kidnap and perverting the course of justice, but was also later released under investigation. A 19-year-old man was arrested in August at an address in West London on suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder and kidnap. There hasn't been any new information regarding the outcome. Subsequently, no one has been charged for this crime. The Metropolitan Police have also interviewed a man under caution at a London prison where he is serving time for an unrelated matter. The Metropolitan Police announced a reward of £20,000 for the information leading to the whereabouts of Shahar and information leading to the identification, arrest and prosecution of anyone connected with his murder. If anyone watching the video has any information regarding this case, please use the numbers on the screen now. You can also find them in the description below. Averis Danavicius was found whilst workers were clearing out rubble and overgrowth from the back of a cornfield in Hawthorne Lane, Bracknell. The remains of a human skeleton was found on 24th of July 2015, which is when the police were alerted. The body was wrapped in multiple green bin liners from the neck down and covered with a black and yellow checkered blanket, which had been tied at the bottom. An extra large green striped cotton jumper with a Turkish label was also found with the remains. The skull had 2 blunt force trauma injuries, though police stated they weren't sure whether they were made before or after death as there were no defensive marks. Although it could have been a surprise attack, for example, not getting the chance to defend himself in time. Forensic anthropologists estimated he had been killed between 2008 and 2013 and was likely to have been aged between 30 and 40 at the time of death. In December 2015, Dundee University created and released a reconstruction of his face hoping to identify him. A DNA profile was taken from the skeleton and ran through the UK database and an international database. The international one came back with a familial match to a woman in Lithuania. Thames Valley Police then contacted the Lithuanian authorities. They discovered a missing man called Averis Danavicius, 45, who had been declared missing by his mother in 2008. They compared the DNA sample with Averis' father's DNA to confirm a match. Averis' family have since visited the United Kingdom to speak to officers and are desperate to find out what happened to their son. Unfortunately, his mother passed away only a few months before his remains were found. It is believed that Averis moved to the United Kingdom in 1996, where he predominantly lived around London. It is thought that he had ties to the gay community in London. Police now believe he was murdered in late 2004, and later his remains were dumped in a field, though they don't know why or by whom. Investigating Officer Detective Sergeant Paul Quinton from the Major Crime Unit has appealed, saying, "I would like to speak to anyone who had any connection with Averis in the years before his death, or knows anything about his associations in London, particularly within the gay community." He concluded, "I appreciate it is a few years ago now, but any detail, no matter how insignificant it may seem to you, or any clue that will help us trace the people who knew Avarius, could be hugely important to this investigation, so please get in touch." If anyone has any information about anything spoken about in this video, please use all the contacts on the screen now. You will also find them below. I'd just like to apologise for any pronunciations I get wrong with any of the names. They're really difficult to say, so I'm sorry. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you feel the channel is interesting to you. Much love everyone, and keep safe out there. The world is a beautiful place, but also a dangerous place. Stay safe.